Hey, what's up, seventh graders? We are on 2.3, example 1, and now we are subtracting rational numbers. Fractions, subtracting, negatives, OMG. No, I'm just kidding. This is not too bad. Hopefully we can catch some understanding here. Remember that when you subtract a negative, we're going to add the opposite, so this becomes plus, right? So what are the steps here? And you want to keep these handy when you're doing your assignment. They're in your notes. So we're going to estimate first that -4 minus -1, that's actually plus 1, is -3. So our answer should be right around -3. Okay? So we're going to add the opposite of -6/7. So we're going to add the opposite, which would be plus a positive, which is just plus. Okay, so now we have -4 1/7 plus 6/7. Now we're going to turn this into an improper fraction. So we have to multiply 7 times 4, which is 28, plus 1, which is 29. So now I have -29/7 plus 6/7. Now we're going to write the sum of the numerators over the common denominator. Thankfully, this already gave us a common denominator. So we take -29 plus 6 and we put it over 7. Now we do our addition and we end up with -23/7. Then we're going to change this back to a mixed number. We can't put our answer as an improper fraction. We have to change it back. So 23 divided by 7 is 3 with 2 left over 7, because 7 stays the same on the denominator. Okay, and this is negative, so don't forget that. So when you're entering your answers, it's got to be in this form. All right? So -3 2/7 would be the answer on that one. And don't forget, you can always pause the video or rewatch, but we want to keep these steps handy and these examples handy. Let's take a look at another one. This is -8 2/3 minus
Find -8
6
2/3 minus
so
6
now
1/6.
we're going to need to get a common denominator.
Before we find the actual answer, let's make an estimate. We can round -8 2/3 to the nearest integer, which is -9. And we can round 6 1/6 to the nearest integer, which is 6. Then, to subtract an integer, you should add its opposite. So we have -9 plus -6. And we're adding integers with the same sign, so you can add the absolute values. 9 plus 6 is 15. And keep the common sign, which is a negative sign. So an estimate is -15. Let's find the actual answer and see how it compares. Notice in the problem that we have mixed numbers. Well, mixed numbers are rational numbers, and we can use the same rules for rational numbers that we use for integers when it comes to adding and subtracting. So let's rewrite this as -8 2/3 plus -6 1/6. Now notice it's not so easy to add mixed numbers, so let's convert these to improper fractions. In the first term, because 3 times 8 is 24, plus 2 is 26, write 26 in the numerator and keep the denominator of 3. So you end up with -26/3. And then over here, 6 times 6 is 36, plus 1 is 37, so that goes in the numerator and you keep 6 in the denominator and you get -37/6. Now we're adding two fractions, but they have different denominators. So let's rewrite this first one with the denominator of 6 by multiplying the numerator and denominator by 2. Now we're adding two negative numbers, so we can add their absolute values and keep the common sign, which is a negative sign. Because they're fractions, add the numerators. 52 plus 37 is equal to 89, so the answer is -89/6. To make this answer more understandable, let's rewrite it as a mixed number. 6 divides into 89 14 times with a remainder of 5. So as a mixed number, the answer is -14 5/6. Is this answer reasonable? Well, let's compare the answer to our original estimate of -15. And notice -14 5/6 is pretty close to -15, so I'd say they're approximately equal. So I'd say, yes, this is a pretty reasonable answer. And with reasonable certainty, we can say
All right. So make sure you have these steps written down because you're going to need them. This is a lot of stuff to remember. So turning mixed numbers into improper fractions and then getting a common denominator and then changing it back to a mixed number. A lot of stuff to do there. But that's it for example 1. I'll see you